blasphemed the God of heaven because of their pains and their sores, and repented not of their deeds. And the
Does it work
sixth angel
this time?
poured out his
Apparently
vial
last
upon a
time
great
I
river
just
Euphrates, and the
made
water
an
thereof was
issue.
dried up, that the way of the kings of the
So
east
let's
might be
see here.
repaired.
We
And I
have
saw three unclean spirits like frogs come out of the mouth of the dragon,
we
and
have
out
the
of the
phone
mouth of the beast,
here.
and out of the mouth of the false prophet. For they are
And
the spirits of devils working miracles,
well,
which
I
go
guess
forth
one
unto the
plus
kings
with
of
the
the
phone
earth
is
and
the
of the whole
microphone.
world, to gather them to
the
the battle
speaker.
of that great day of God Almighty.
The speaker is pretty good. It's pretty loud.
I come as a thief.
Does pretty good.
Blessed is he that watcheth and keepeth his garments,
And it could be
lest he walk
pretty
naked,
high.
and they see his shame.
And he gathered them together into a place called
So
in the Hebrew
that's
tongue
the positive
Armageddon.
thing of the mobile. Pretty
And the
much the
seventh
only
angel poured out his
possible,
vial into the air,
you
and
know,
there came a great voice out
positive
of the
thing
temple of
about this
heaven from the
mobile
throne,
thing.
saying,
But I guess no mobile pretty much is, you know, I guess most, you know, all of them, the mobiles pretty much on the market these days would disappoint me. And this doesn't really do much good either. Look at the icons. Look at, I have fixed, you know, tried to sort out in regards to the icons. Look how much space there is, you know, between those icons. You know, when you have a small screen, when you don't have much real estate or whatever, I'm missing the word. When you don't have much screen space on a phone, and the screen space is very, very valuable, and then they do this nonsense, you know? Are you kidding me? It's just, you know, and you can't even see all the text because they don't use two lines. They only allow one line of text. So even if I made this text small, as small as I can, I get very little detail in regards to the text, in regards to what it is. And look at that much space between the icons. It's absolutely depraved, you know. It's just disgusting. And with all that space, you know, I don't understand why I even need to point it out. But apparently the whole world just gone absolute mad. There is no sanity left in this world. In regards to technology, everything goes insane. And, you know, maybe it's just easier to throw it all out because, you know, you end up wasting so much. You actually end up wasting your whole life on bullshit. You don't really, you know, you end up, you know, being pulled in absolutely bullshit directions, and they're reinventing the wheel into squares and 5 squares or 6 squares or whatever. They just tried to reinvent the wheel that was going all, you know, without any issue, and it's just again and again and again. You can't even, you know, at the you know, down here, if you want to go to one screen, you can see this thing popping up, right? They have made that it actually fills the space as they should in regards to the other end. Yeah, I think these Satanists are doing this absolutely on purpose. These demon-filled people that makes, you know, agreements between each other to absolutely make absolutely depravity of nonsense for the people. I don't get it why people just accept these things and why so many people just goes along with this bullshit. You know, we have 4 screens, right? I can move 4 screens, right? But I can't push any of the things down here to move to the specific screen that I want to go to. Is that, what, are you kidding me? Was that too hard to make, you know? That's how it worked in other Android versions where there was some sanity. The only problem was that was just so small an area, and you had all this extra space that you could use if you didn't have that many screens, and they didn't use the screen space as good as they should. Now they're using the screen space as they should, but you can't push it. What, are you kidding me? You know, it's just the devils that in these programmers are just absolutely, you know, they're just totally, what do you call it? I don't know what the words, they're just totally making fun of us, you know. So anyway, I tried to get my applications over to it, but a lot of the applications doesn't work. Apparently, this application that I used didn't do and breaks a lot of the applications, so that wasn't really workable. So again, I still have to figure out how to do that so I can get all my applications and maybe also my data would be nice to get it with it, right? But some of these applications that works, they need to be rooted, and of course, in regards of rooting, Android usually makes so many other issues because they purposely made it, pretty much unrootable. And if you actually root it, so many other things happens, and you end up with a sick mobile that does whatever, goes in every kind of direction of breaking this way and that way and whatnot and all that. Purposely making them hard to root, and you should have root out of the box. Out of the box. Linux, you already always had root out of the box. If the user want root, they should be able to have root and do whatever they want if the system is able to do it. But no, they what do you call it? Limlisted. This system is just absolutely just nonsense. I shouldn't have bought this phone. That was a mistake. I don't know. Yeah, I don't wanna. The last mobile I bought was from Germany. That was absolutely depraved mobile as well. That was another Android phone. I think it was Android 10 actually. Yeah, that was Android 10. It hasn't become any better on Android 12, well, that's for sure. But that was Android 10, and I used a whole year to, and then the screen broke very easily. Now this one should not break in regards to the screen if you do like this. Seems pretty solid. So at least that issue is not there, So I guess that's one of the positive things with the mobile, that it shouldn't break as easily. The speaker is pretty good as well. The speaker is pretty good. I'm not entirely sure why it wouldn't be possible to actually put the speaker further into the mobile. Yeah. So but it's sticking a good amount up from the phone. And I do wonder if it wouldn't be possible to actually further fix it in it, Anyway, that's just how it is, I guess. Or at least a couple of millimeters or something like that, fix it into. I think the battery is down here, something like that, in the mobile. And you have the CPU somewhere up here. But you have a whole huge metal thing going through the whole thing to keep the structure. And that is also used as the cooling. It has 8 CPUs apparently, 2 that is 2 gigahertz and 6 that's 1.8 gigahertz. Yet it does seem to, it uses them a lot, whereas this phone just doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't seem to use it as much, and and that's, well, anyway, there's only 4 on that one. But that one get heated. That's one of the problems with the LG V20, and it's probably because Android and all the software is maybe doing more than it was made to, or something like that. And of course, the applications needing more and more and all that. So that one gets pretty heated, whereas this one seems to keep cool. So that's. I tried using the pin for it. It's not always reacting so good, but it is working with the pin, But sometimes it just seems to. It also seems to hang sometimes, and have had pretty much it in some sense crash, where I just couldn't change the background. I'll put the moon background. At least that's something, something better than all the rest. At least they don't have a black background or anything like that. A standard to put on would have been nice, but nope. And then you have all these rounded corners and all that. Absolutely insanity. You don't want, and all this putting icons inside icons because they need to follow the Google nonsense standards and all that. Just absolute depravity. All that bullshit rules, and they just ruin more and more. That's just incredible. Really, you must give Google and Google and Android that they do huge amount of things to ruin something that was pretty good. Like if you look at let's look at the mini motor icon, right? Like an icon inside an icon. You can see that white outside. What's the are you kidding me? Oh yeah, because we needed to have this standard of bullshit in regards of icons. I did not have any problem in regards of how the icons was done. And then out of the sudden Google makes rules that makes issues. They decide as the tyrant that they are. It's tyranny. It's not for the people, it's for the Satanist. Here we have Israel app. That's another app where you have a icon inside an icon. The Danish thing here in regards of word, an icon inside an icon. So here we have another icon inside an icon. You have multiple applications that have these icons inside icons, and just getting worse and worse and worse with the depravity. So I don't know why people want these. Why people are so seeking of more depravity, but it seems like the more depravity Google can make, the more the people love it. It's just. But I guess that's just the nature of most human beings. They love following the devil. And all his insanities. So now at the moment I'm in regards to the battery on 1%. It has been running for a good amount. It still haven't closed down. I'm waiting for it to close down so I can just put it in the charger and let it sit there and have a break, whatever, But I just had to try, and I got to try to get some of. Yeah, that's another thing, right? When I moved all the application, I need to push. To install all the application, I need to push 2 times. So when you have like 70 apps or something like that, that's 140 times you need to push the pushing game to install something that should just be installing. Another thing was that I fixed it on an SD card on this phone, put the SD card over in the new phone. You think I could find the SD card was found, but do you think I could find that in the application? No. That's probably again some Google restriction or some Google bullshit or something like that again. So working on Android 8 but not working on Android 12. Now again, moving the applications, I ended up moving the applications from the old phone to the computer and to the computer to the phone. Just because there we go with shutting down. So that was a whole. I've taken the protection screen off. I don't know why. I don't know why these bullshitters usually put these protecting. I don't get it. Because the last mobile I had, it wasn't the protection glass that ruined. It was the screen behind the glass. So it didn't matter how much you protected the glass, because the vibrations when it hit something or something like that would break it, whatever. Anyway, I took it off. The glass should be pretty sturdy anyway, and thereby also should be better with this little guy, without this piece of plastic or whatever they put on top of it. It looked like some kind of plastic. I guess, in the past you had this plastic that you actually put off before you used it, although this was a little thicker, and I guess it would be used as a protection thing and all that. But, the thing is, the mobile will die at some point because you can't change the battery. It should be illegal for any mobile company to make mobiles where you can't change the battery. It's absolute depravity. And they want to talk green, and they want to talk this and that and all that, and yet we go we continue to go in the wrong direction. So I'm disappointed. I shouldn't have bought it. It was a mistake. I don't think I can send it back with all, I already threw out most of the things and this and that, but yeah, it was. I should just, I think in regards of my LG V20, even with all the issues the LG V20 has in regards of after these 6 or 7 years since it came on the market, even with all the issues that it now has, it's it's just, it's a good, it's a lot better mobile than so many others. You have most same things still intact, in some sense. I really actually would like to go back to Android 7 instead of Android 8. Yeah, I think it would run better on Android 7. Although in regards to applications, but the thing is, in all these updates of applications and all that it's mostly nonsense. But of course, from Google Play Store, you cannot download the older versions and this and that. And of course, you can only go forward, right? And then you can have automatically update on, and so the application all of a sudden doesn't work because of a bullshit update, or that they changed the interface or something like that. I still have the old version of Firefox on this mobile. Why? Well, because it's the best browser that there was. This new garbage that Firefox made is absolutely ridiculous, But they don't give the users the choice to continue on something. They just push people over to something where they have reinvented the wheel. I just think, because that's what these programming bullshitters does all the time. They're always reinventing the wheel. The old Firefox browser was working much better than the new one. But with newness, you have more resources ended up being used and stupid new interface, and all these insanities. And what does people do? They just follow along, right? Because there's nothing else, they pretty much have us like, yeah, it's open source. Open source. I don't see the open source thing in regard to the environment. Google have taken pretty much totally control over the system of Android on so many levels. I don't see much open source and freedom in this, at all. And many of those so-called open source applications ends up being taken over, taken over by nonsense and forces from the outside, and they infiltrate and they ruin. If not like that, the programmer themselves are not Christian, so they end up with a lot of demonic, swaying in the wrong direction. Actually, there's a lot of non-Christians inside technology, I found out. And they really hate Jesus, Oh yeah, so who are they working for? Well, they're not working for Jesus, it seems. So, demonic-filled people. Who knows how many demons are in people these days, It must be a lot. Okay. We've just got a post in regards of moving, right? I need to move one place or another, right? Because that's just how our society works, right? Just kick people out, this and that. But of course, you don't own anything these days, right? It's just all is rented, right? We don't own anything, right? It's just tyranny and satanic nonsense this world is filled up with, and it's just ongoing. Anyway, and more control, more advertising, more spying, more tyranny. It's just disgusting. It's disgusting to see how they do all these things, so they ruin a good experience because you hit into these many walls that shouldn't be there in the first place. So you're sitting there, oh, there's a wall, oh, there's a wall, oh, there's a wall. I can't do this like this, okay, I can't do that, and I can't do whatever. You know, I can't do what I want with my phone that I paid for, you know. That's absolutely ridiculous. I can't even get root if I want root without needing, and I guess this one is probably nearly impossible because I guess not that many nerds actually probably has this. So in regards to rooting, it would probably be finding some information in regards of rooting the phone would probably be nearly impossible. But anyway, I don't want to do that anyway, because usually when you do it, I haven't had all the mobiles that I've rooted in regards to Android phones has just been insanity. You always run into something, and of course the oldest version I had, I guess I had. Well, that was one of these I ordered a standard version of that, and I got one of these other versions, and then I thought, okay, well, I didn't know at that point I would get so many issues in regards to that. But then the other one, the LGV20, you get into issues as well. You get into issues with the Shift phone as well, that actually was made. No, actually not. You still need to do a lot of things to get it rooted, and all these things that Android had made in regards of A and B and it's just, instead of making it less complex, they make it more complex, more and more and more complex. It's not a win-win for the people. It's a win-win for these diabolical bullshitters. And in regards of not even having one, you don't have one single company of the big mobile companies making a good phone where you can actually change the battery and have a jack stick and a micro SD. There was like standard features in the past. Standard features. Now this phone, of course, it does have a micro SD in regards of so at least I can move my data over to it. It has a jack stick, although I haven't tried the jack stick because I wanted to have there was this sound game I wanted to try out on it. And well, I did get it, did get the application working, but I haven't gotten so far to try it out. But yeah, totally just, I guess it's just mostly just Android, in regards to Google. That's just the depravity of depravities that, but then of course these companies, and I can't even, the thing down here, I can't even move this one down, this one to this, well, I can't flip them, I can't even flip them on this phone. That must be from the developer, programmer bullshitters or something like that they just, So, anyway, apparently I have for Monday to choose if I want that new apartment or not. In regards of all that, and then I can, that will be taking a lot of time as well, moving things here and there. All these things, they just do whatever they want, The whole system, the whole world is just full of absolutely, they just do what they want, They don't care about what the people says. They just whatever. Oh, you said no? Now, we'll just vote for that again, right? Disgusting. And then they put out propaganda, false propaganda. Oh, you will get this huge outdoor thing, I can't remember, it's terrace or whatever it's called in English. Balcony maybe is the English term, maybe, something of that kind. Maybe balcony is not totally balcony, or you will get this huge balcony if you say yes. and then some people end up, well, at least the second time it becomes a yes. Oh no, we can't actually do that anyway, because the construction, it just can't be done anyway. Oh, okay. It can't be done, so too bad. Yeah, okay. Wait. If we can't, if people actually said yes because they wanted this huge, gigantic balcony that you propaganded, do you think we should vote for things again? Maybe if the people can't get what they voted yes for, should we maybe vote again for it? And just, oh, it's disgusting. That's the world we live in. They don't care. They don't care. They don't care about the people. Money rules. When you follow the devil, hey, we have, full food sacrificed to false gods everywhere in the market these days. Oh yeah, so we can defile all the people. Anyway. Oh no. Hey, her har vi se her, så er der lige en, der giver jøderne skov, English. That's another one giving the fault for the Jews, all these propagandists, Oh, it's always the Jews, it's the Jews, it's the Jews. Oh, really? Yeah, I'm sure it was the Jews that killed 6 million of their own people. Yeah, that makes totally not sense, But yeah, they always, these Roman agents, they always fault the Jews. Do the Jews have issues? Absolutely. They rejected the Messiah. Do does other people have issues? Oh yeah, it's not only the Jews. And yet these people, always the Jews. Oh, it's the Jews, it's the Jews. It's just bullshit. It's the Roman Catholics and the Roman Empire. So... just insanity. Sanity just continues. So many Roman Catholics in here to mislead. Now, I don't even know what you have Roman Catholics in a Christian group in the first place, but anyway. So, yeah, but lots, I guess many false prophets will come around, right, And it seems like most people have ears for all the fallacy and the falsehood and all that, and yeah. Anyway, I can charge this mobile up, I guess, again. Yeah, but yeah, the speaker is pretty good, you know. If it was just only more than the speaker, you know. But the speaker is actually pretty good. You actually, if you just put it on the first level, that seems to be nearly enough to just have more than enough sound that you want. And of course, if you need more, well, you do have the capability of just swinging it up, you know, or pushing it up or whatever. Although I don't understand this, you know, you have a button on the side, you know. Yeah, in the LG V20, you just had this fingerprint thing work as a button. That was absolutely a smart choice, right? But no, and if you want this to work as opening the mobile, you need to set the code. I don't need that on this one. Let's see here. Let's see if I close it down, right? Push the button here on the LG, right? And whoopty whoopty, I can push it again. Well, I guess it doesn't totally open up, but it does turn on. Actually, interesting. Why wouldn't it actually just turn on, actually? But anyway, here I am, you know. I just need to push and then a swipe, I guess. That's still annoying. I would like actually to have it totally. No. Anyway, it is what it is. But this one you can't. You know, you have the key. You have the button right below the volume keys. You know, so when you need to push the volume, you end up sometimes pushing this other thing that is just right next to it. Just doesn't make any sense. Why didn't they just put it right there? Right there. They have a place where they could just put it right there. Maybe they're afraid that it will become, you know, I don't know, maybe it's easier to destroy or something like that. But of course these are not the only ones where they put this thing, you know, and they're so close to the volume button. So when you try to fix the volume right and you push that, you end up closing down the mobile or turning it on or whatever, you know, in regards of this turn button, whatever. But you have this button up here on the other side, which you can apparently program to either be the camera or speak thing. I don't know. I think I don't know if you can, but someone seemed to talk about a walkie-talkie, so maybe you could just push it and then talk like a walkie-talkie. I'm not entirely sure. And I don't have two devices, so I can't check that. I guess that could be pretty cool if it could work like a walkie-talkie, right? But yeah, Tulu. But so yeah, I don't know. I just fail. How is it that there is nothing where I'm thinking, wow, that's a wonderful mobile, right? You know, how in the world could you think that the LG V20 would be the last sane flagship that would come around, you know? And then I tried this German version where you also could change the battery and all that. But, you know, that's total fail. Absolutely fail. It's just, you just needed to blow on the mobile and it would break. That was the Shift 6MQ. Like, it was a very expensive phone. So that's one thing. Okay, it was very expensive. That was one thing, right? But if it actually had been able to do what it should do, right, and then it would have been amazing. But the speaker was crap. The front camera didn't work. You know, I guess it's called the backward camera. You know, on the back of the I don't know. Well, I guess back. You know, behind the screen, right? So that didn't work because they didn't have drivers. Apparently the company didn't make the drivers for it. Now that's one thing, right? That a company stops making drivers for the camera. So, but of course they had actually pointed out that it would be running Android 8, which actually would have been better than actually running Android 10. But maybe there was some security reasons on that way as well, in regards of getting Google to accept it, or I don't know, whatever. But then of course they had the problems with the drivers for the camera that never got to work. And they're still selling the mobile with these cameras, you know, when one of them doesn't work. Now the Shift phone had worse cameras at that point. Maybe it was the Fairphone 3, I'm not sure. But they upgraded the camera, so that was not an issue anymore. So Fairphone might actually have been a better choice, but I didn't try Fairphone. And the Fairphone 4, they don't have a jack stick, and I don't know if I can charge the batteries outside the phone. So, but that might have been maybe closer to. And the Fairphone made so you can't change the micro SD without actually taking the battery out of the mobile. You know, you know, insanity is everywhere. Why in the world would you make it so you can't take the micro SD card out of the mobile without taking the battery out? You know, yeah, it just I'm so sick and tired of it all. You know, it's just more and more bullshit. So I guess we'll see what Fairphone 5 will ever. But it's like if you need a mobile and all that, it's kind of a problem. I guess maybe I can. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what I will do with this. It's I'm disappointed. It actually, one thing that would be wonderful, I can walk with this and have music with me. When I'm going to move and all that, I can pretty much use it for that at least. I can put all my music over to it if I can get Total Commander installed and get it working as it should. Oh my. Because there's some problems, but that might be in regards to that other application, in regards to moving applications that is not working as it should. But anyway, if I can get it to work, at least with Total Command, I can use it for, music thing. If I'm going to move all my stuff a couple of times with a wagon or something like that, I guess I can use it for that, whatever. At least you can hear it, right? I haven't tried speaking, to anybody in it yet, so I do have another SIM card that I could try to. I'm not sure if I have the telephone number in regards to the SIM card, but then I can actually call from the other phone. If not, I guess I need to have another SIM card that I have, that I can call to or something like that. And I could try it out maybe. Oh well. It's just, advertising, bullshit, nonsense, jailing people in, spying on us, making all these stupid things where instead of having our data with us, the data is out, in their control. It's just madness, everything, So I guess it's not only this one I shouldn't have bought. I probably shouldn't have bought a lot. Or, I should just have stayed with the LTV20. I thought it is time to move forward because it is getting heated, and I do have the issues when I record that it gets too heated and closes down. And apparently I can't do anything with the heat issues that it has. It just heats up, and there doesn't seem to be any way to really fix it, You can do a little more in regards to, but the heat issue is still there. So maybe you make it a little better in regards to some of the things, but still the heat issue is still there. So that's one of the negative thing with the LGV20. But I guess when it came out, it was so powerful, so it didn't really need to do its, it was just powerful, it was very quick and very smooth and all that, no issues at all. But of course it also had Android 7, and that might be, I don't know, that might be, and and of course it had applications that wasn't. Well, I guess one could actually go back and download a lot of the applications from the past. Install Android 7 and get all those applications from the past. There's a lot of work to do. Oh my. Oh yeah, forgive someone just murdering. Um, that's terrible. You know, I don't know. It's from the U.S. You know, a mother killing her 3 children. You know, just terrible. Absolutely terrible. So much death these days being pushed on the media. Oh yeah, we're talking about the Fairphone. Apparently, it also runs Android 12. Maybe you can actually see how Android 12 is on the Fairphone if there's as much bullshit, which I actually think there is. That's probably up because that's the shell of the system. That's Android, right? So it's like also it's trying to find a portable thing, and also in regards to moving files, I need to do that as well. But you end up that you get issues. You can't move these files from this place to this place because of long name or whatever. Just give me a break. Look around. And all these issues you just hit into all the time. And if it was just like one issue, sometimes here and there, right? That's one thing, right? Like in the old days. But these days it's all the time. That's something regards of Android without anyway. Finally a modular flagship. The modular flagship, that's the Fairphone 4. But we still want to see how it actually works. Yeah, here we go with some uses of the Fairphone. Okay, it looks pretty much nearly as terrible. Well, you only have one line of text. You have at least 5 icons next to each other. And I think this mobile should be able to do it as well though. And we still have this nonsense of this box with all the applications. App box, I think it's called. You don't need that on the LG V20 either. You had 2 possibilities of going around that. I guess LG might have continued to do that with newer mobiles. I guess maybe I should look into the newest model that LG made or something like that, where where you can just move your stuff from one mobile to another very easily by the LG application, and still have many of the features that maybe I don't know, but in regards to Android, they probably did a lot of things that are just sickening, absolutely sickening. Okay, now he's on some Windows thing. That's not the system. But yeah, he has 5 icons on the mobile. It still have the issue that you can only see a couple of the letters of an application. So again, that's probably an Android 12 absolutely bullshit move. Seems like you also have a good amount of room between the icons compared to the LG V20, which was perfect with the LG V20. You didn't have all these nonsense problems. Why would you misuse the real estate that you have, or misuse the space that you have on a mobile when you don't have that much? You kind of want to use every little bit that you can do on a mobile because it's so small. You don't have that much. I'm missing the word, you know. But you don't have that, you know, the desktop is very small. Yeah. The last LG flag phone or something like that. LG flag phone. I guess the last LG flag phone, smartphone 2021. Which is the last LG smartphone? Let's see. Again, you know, of course, in regards of jack stick and all that, the rumors for shutting down reflect on what the company's last flagship, the LG Wing. The question is, it probably doesn't have, you know, phone jack and all that. You know, wouldn't be a, you know. Wouldn't be a surprise that it didn't have all these goody features that every single flagship have had in the old days, you know. That's a pretty expensive phone. Oh, well, I just don't waste. You know, the Pine phone is getting better. Hopefully, you know, hopefully they will get to a stage where they really can use it as, you know, calling, and you know, they just need to have these default things working. You know, then people could use it. You know, they don't need to have all these other things working. They just need the default things that you can call, record calls, and some camera function. You know. And some speaker, you know, speaker function. That's, you know, they don't need to. Then they can always build on that, right? It's just insane, you know. Build on the. They don't need high resolution either, you know, as many of these companies. And this, of course, doesn't have that high resolution. And I don't see that as a bad thing, you know. So. Anyway, I guess it's just Android sucking. I guess the Pine phone also, the good thing with the Pine phone is that there's many systems that you can pretty much run on it. So if they just end up getting a pretty good speaker for it, and you know, getting the default things up and running for Android, for Pine phone, that would be amazing. Not sure about the Librem phone, how far they've gotten with that, but of course, you know, in regards to the Linux nonsense, and you know, they can also be going into. I still don't think that the systems are really as they should. Everything should be portable. You know, you should just be able to copy one thing and copy it to another without any issue. You know, so. Well, yeah, too much issues. Just, you know, could be nice with a sane mobile. Anyway, I'll charge it up, and I'll, you know, that's, you know, if I can get the applications over, I guess I'll see what I can get out of this. You know, it's, you know, it is running some of the things better. It's pretty heavy, you know, it's pretty bulky and heavy, you know. That's a negative thing, of course. The battery, I'm not kind of, you know, 7,000. I'm not kind of impressed because I still have an 8,200 battery in the other one here. And I can actually just exchange the batteries. Now this one, now that the battery is not there, I can't use it, you know. I can't just flip a battery in it. and go from 0 to 100 in 5 seconds, you know. I need to find a plug and put it in the plug and wait for it to charge, and or I need to sit with it with a, you know, a cable. It's just, you know, it's and the thing is, all these fast chargers and all that was never necessary, because you could just flip the battery. Well, they will say, well, in regards of keeping the mobile, you know, water resistant, all that. Are you telling me you can't make a battery that can be water resistant by some kind of mechanism? You're telling me it's impossible to make a battery where I can just flip it around easily and fix it in, like, and still keep the... It's not like, you know, there's only a couple of contacts that needs to be fixed, right? So you would just need something that you could, you know, fix the battery into without, you know, are they really so incompetent? And again, how many times do I take the mobile with me into the water, you know? I guess I now, you know, if I go showering or something like that, which I don't do that much anymore because of itching issues and all that. But I guess I could take it with me and listen to music, right? I can take it to the beach and maybe record below the water or something like that. Let's see if that can handle that. But yeah, yeah. Oh well, yeah, not positive. But again, you know, probably not positive about all the other Android phones either. I think it's sickening to see what has been happening for these many years. Well, actually, it's been sickening to watch since Windows 2000, pretty much. Since Windows 2000, it just, you know, was running in the wrong direction, little by little, more and more, and more and more and more. You know, if you run Windows 2000, administrator rights out of the box, and it's just freedom. The only problem is that you might actually need to push in the beginning in regards of the window. I didn't get the automatically login feature to work, but besides that, there was no bullshit around. It just worked, you know. No graphical nonsense, no spyware, not, you know, just working. And actually very nicely. It was very snappy and all that. Sadly, I haven't gotten it further working on the slim device. I have it working, you know, some kind of a version working, but that would be a lot more work to further get it to work as it should. It can only see one process out of two, and the graphic drivers are not working. I have some alternative graphic drivers on, but yeah, but it's working, so that's nice. But yeah, it still needs, if I could get the second processor working, we're far further there, right? That should make it even better, you know, that's the double amount of processing power. But I haven't gotten that to work yet. Should be possible to get it work, I think. But I was banned from this forum where in the main place for things and all that, so without any reason, of course, you know, that's the typical thing. Just get out, right, you know. That's the typical. So I ordered some things, wrote it down on the toilet paper yesterday, and of course I need to, yeah, I guess that's only, you know, I guess I can only say yes to this other apartment. It's like, you know, in regards of expenses, things and all that. And of course a little more, you know, you can always use resources, right? And I guess rather have more resources to, you know, alternatives. Yeah, well, I guess I'm getting too old and it's getting too late for a lot of the things. But yeah, you know, it's always nice with some more resources so you are less hit by things. actually might not be a bad, place. 2,500, and yeah, that's pretty good. SATA, yeah. Well, anyway. Let's see if we can get this one. I guess it's a Spanish webpage or something like that. Like in the old days, a lot of websites was just on English. That was just nice. Nice in the old days, like instead of having multiple languages, we just had one. I guess, I guess I just have to accept that it will never get back to the good old days, We're moving forward of more depravity and more control, and we of course have AI incoming, and that's the thing that people wanna, so the AI can rule the world, and yeah. And of course, that's a good possibility for the mark of the beast as well. Although we'll see if that's the thing, but you could have an AI controlling everything, One specific AI in one specific location controlling everything in the world would pretty much be possible, So, wouldn't be totally, Anyway, let's see here, so many tabs open. So what I used for moving applications that didn't really work good was my Backup Pro. So many of the applications broke when I did it, and I actually think I had the same problem when I did it with the phone from Germany, but I think I actually still used it for moving phone numbers and all that from one phone to the other phone. But I have another application that can move applications, but again, of course, the interface is just absolutely ridiculous, so you need to figure out figure out how it works. I did sort it out at some point, so I guess I will need to educate myself again. Missing a lot again, in the old days when a lot of the applications just worked the same, you didn't need to relearn, just because many of the interfaces was just, it was pretty much the same interface you had in most of the applications, so it was the same, you expected, well, anyway, I can complain all day, I guess, and it doesn't become any better, It will just continue on this road. I wonder if I actually have. Oh, we do have. Okay. Anyway, take care, all of you, and may Jehovah be with you, and Yeshua, most precious pearl, and the Spirit of truth be in us all. I don't know. I can't speak anymore. I just too much on my. I guess I have to accept this apartment. I guess I'm thinking in regards to one apartment or the other apartment. I'm just trying to figure out probably the best thing to. I only have two choices. They're pushing you to either one, right? Like I have a choice, right? Oh, I guess I can just move away, right? It's like, when you decided to, to be in a rented building. I didn't decide to do that. That was the